Why most people stay poor and how to escape. Most people don't stay poor because they're lazy or unlucky. It's because they fall into financial traps they don't even realize are holding them back. From living paycheck to paycheck, relying on debt, and avoiding investments, these patterns keep millions stuck in the same cycle for life. But the truth is, escaping poverty isn't about winning the lottery. It's about learning smarter money habits, building assets, and making choices today that pay you tomorrow. In this video, we'll break down exactly why most people stay poor and how you can escape. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. The poverty cycle. Poverty often isn't just about how much money someone earns. It's about a cycle that keeps repeating. Most people who struggle financially fall into habits and mindsets that make escaping poverty harder. Living paycheck to paycheck, relying on short-term fixes, and being burdened by debt are all part of this cycle. For example, someone may use a credit card to pay for daily expenses, thinking they'll catch up later, but high interest rates trap them further. Another reason is the lack of financial education. Schools rarely teach about money, investing, or wealth building, which means many people grow up never learning how to make money work for them. They might assume hard work alone guarantees wealth, but without knowledge of saving, investing, or leveraging money, income just slips away. This cycle also includes lifestyle inflation. When people earn more, they tend to spend more instead of saving or investing. Over time, this pattern ensures that despite working hard, they remain in the same financial position year after year. Escaping poverty requires recognizing that money is not just earned, it must also be managed wisely and multiplied. 2. The mindset trap. One of the biggest reasons people stay poor isn't their bank account, it's their mindset. A scarcity mindset makes people believe money is limited, opportunities are rare, and wealth is for others. Instead of seeing money as a tool to grow, they see it as something that slips away. This fear often leads to bad decisions. Holding on to cash without investing, avoiding risks that could bring higher rewards, or overspending to get short-term happiness. In contrast, the wealthy often think in terms of abundance. They view money as renewable and opportunities as endless. Poor mindset also includes believing wealth is a matter of luck, inheritance, or privilege, rather than strategy and discipline. For instance, someone might think investing is gambling, or that starting a business is only for the rich. These limiting beliefs prevent action. People with a poor mindset also tend to compare themselves to others, leading to spending beyond their means to look rich. Escaping poverty means shifting mindset, understanding that anyone can learn financial literacy, build assets, and create wealth with consistency. 3. Dependence on debt. Debt is one of the biggest anchors that keeps people poor. Credit cards, payday loans, and unnecessary borrowing create a cycle where interest payments eat away income. Instead of money working for them, people end up working for lenders. High-interest debt can last years, sometimes decades, especially if only minimum payments are made. For example, borrowing $5,000 on a credit card at 20% interest and making minimum payments can turn into paying $15,000 over time. Many people fall into this trap because they mistake debt for wealth. They buy cars, phones, or clothes on credit to maintain appearances. But those items lose value the moment they're purchased. The wealthy use debt differently. They use it to buy assets that grow, like real estate or businesses, rather than liabilities. The poor, on the other hand, use debt to consume. Escaping poverty requires learning how to manage and eliminate bad debt. Creating a plan to pay off high-interest loans first, avoiding unnecessary borrowing, and eventually using debt only when it builds wealth is key. Without breaking free from bad debt, it's nearly impossible to escape financial struggle. 4. Lack of financial education. One major reason poverty persists is the lack of financial education. Most people are never taught about budgeting, investing, or wealth-building strategies. Instead, they learn about money through trial and error, which often leads to mistakes that cost years of financial growth. Schools focus on academics, but rarely cover practical lessons like how compound interest works, how to invest in the stock market, or how to manage credit responsibly. As a result, many adults don't know how to make their money grow. For example, instead of investing $200 per month into an index fund, which could grow into hundreds of thousands over decades, they may spend it on non-essential items. Many don't realize the power of compound growth, where money earns interest on top of interest, multiplying wealth over time. Financial illiteracy also leads people to fall for scams, quick rich schemes, or unwise investments, further draining wealth. The wealthy prioritize financial education, whether through books, mentors, or courses, and they constantly seek to improve. 5. Living paycheck to paycheck. Millions of people remain stuck financially because they live paycheck to paycheck, with little to no savings. This lifestyle creates constant stress and prevents wealth building because every dollar is spent before it has a chance to grow. When emergencies happen, like medical bills, car repairs, or job loss, they have no safety net, so they often turn to debt, which pushes them further back. One reason people live paycheck to paycheck is overspending on non-essentials like luxury brands, eating out daily, or upgrading gadgets frequently. Another reason is failing to budget or track expenses. Without knowing where money goes, people underestimate their spending and overestimate their income. Escaping this cycle starts with discipline, creating a budget, building an emergency fund, and cutting unnecessary expenses. Even small savings matter. Saving $10 a day equals $3,650 a year, which could become more when invested. The wealthy understand that cash flow and savings create security, while the poor often see money as something to be spent immediately. 6. Fear of risk. Fear plays a massive role in why many people never build wealth. Poor individuals often avoid investments or business opportunities because they see them as too risky. They prefer the safety of a fixed salary, even if it limits growth. But the truth is, avoiding risk is often the riskiest choice because inflation erodes savings, and opportunities are lost. For example, keeping $10,000 in a savings account earning 1% while inflation is 5% actually means losing money every year. Wealthy people manage risk instead of avoiding it. They diversify investments, do research, and take calculated risks that bring growth. Many also understand that failure is part of the process. Each setback teaches lessons for future success. Fear of risk also comes from lack of knowledge. If someone doesn't understand the stock market, they'll see it as gambling. But with education, they learn strategies like dollar cost averaging, diversification, and long-term investing. Escaping poverty requires embracing calculated risk, starting small, and building confidence. 7. Instant gratification. A major reason many stay poor is the habit of choosing short-term pleasure over long-term gain. This is called instant gratification, spending money on things that bring quick satisfaction, like shopping, eating out, or vacations, instead of saving or investing. This habit creates a cycle where wealth never accumulates. For example, someone might buy a $1,000 phone on credit instead of investing that money into assets that could grow. Over decades, those missed investments could mean losing hundreds of thousands in potential wealth. The wealthy practice delayed gratification. They sacrifice today for greater rewards tomorrow. They invest, reinvest, and grow wealth over time, even if it means driving an older car or living below their means in the short term. Escaping poverty requires mastering self-control and prioritizing future stability over present desires. Simple changes, like automating savings or limiting impulse purchases, can make a big difference. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up, leave a comment, and click the button to subscribe.